So where did we left yesterday?
Elastic
Cartilage,
cartilage.
elastic cartilage.
Hmm. So we have completed this cartilage connective tissue, right? So what is the most common cartilage in our body?
Hyaline.
Mm, okay, good.
Hyaline.
Yes. Now we will move to bone, bone connective tissue or osseous connective tissue. Strong type of connective tissue. So bones are, you all know, these are hard. They are made up of calcium, phosphorus. So they are hard, as our teeth are very hard, like those teeth only, not that as hard as teeth, but bones are also very, very hard as compared to other tissues. So they are very hard connective tissue, strong connective tissue, composed of bone cells. So bone cells are known as osteocytes. Here comes a tricky question or a simple question. What are the bone cells known as? Osteocytes. In lacunae, means in cavities, hard matrix of calcium ion and large numbers of collagen fibers. Means they are made up of hard matrix of calcium ion and large number of collagen fibers. Okay, like the structure comes as uh, here is let me draw it, and it is very, it's become very ugly. Here drawing is a bit difficult. So these are the fibers, you can see here, and fibers appear like this. A network of fiber are seen, and just imagine that these fibers are collagen fibers, and they are forming the wall of bone, and in these fibers, uh, calcium matrix is poured. Miss, imagine you all have seen mosquito net, and if on that mosquito net, if we pour a calcium paste, and if the paste gets hardened, means if the paste get dry on that calcium, uh, sorry, on that mosquito net, so what would be the structure at the end? Like that only bones are made. That mosquito net is collagen fiber. Collagen fibers are making this type of network or net, and on that, this calcium ion or paste of calcium ion is lying. So they are making a hardened structure, and that is wall of bone. Is the concept clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Means you got it, right? How bones are made up of. So, next point is inorganic component of matrix accounts for 65% of total bone tissue, especially calcium and phosphate. Okay, so 65% of total bone tissue is made up of inorganic component. Means yes, inorganic component of matrix accounts for 65% of total bone tissue, and it provides strength and rigidity. Yes, obviously it is providing us strength and rigidity. And now the functions. So functions of bone tissue are: it provides body framework. Obviously, the skeletal system is the framework of body. If we remove all the muscles, all the veins, arteries, fluids, lymph, everything from body, if only and only skeletal comes, then we can see that this is the base or base of our structure of body. On that base, these muscles are being mm, poured. Means you have seen, I have also given you earlier example of sculptures. At first the framework is made, and then on that framework soil or clay is poured, and the clay gives the final shape. So like that only, skeletal is our framework, and skeletals are collection of bones. So it provides body framework, it provides body support, body movement. Yes, obviously, without bones and without joints, body movements are not possible. We will learn these things in detail in skeletal system. So when in joints, and when joints are healthy, for that reason only movement is possible. Otherwise, if we had a single bone from our shoulder to our fingers, then we didn't had a elbow movement or fingers movement, then it will be very difficult to leave. Okay. Now, protection of internal organs. Yes, the rib cage, the pelvic girdle is protecting, and most especially skull is protecting brain. Rib cage is protecting lungs and heart. Pelvic girdle is protecting reproductive organs. Now, storage of minerals. Yes, you can see here it is just a network, and this network is filled by minerals only, and those minerals are mostly calcium and phosphorus. Okay, so bones are a treasure of minerals in our body. And formation of blood cells. Yes, this is very important question, very important questions. Blood cell are formed from bones only. And which part of the bone? Bone marrow. Okay. So blood cells are formed inside bone marrow. And you all know what bone marrow is?
It's inside the bone, no, ma'am. Some
Yes,
liquid kind of.
inside the bone, matrix is present. Like, just imagine this is uh, um, what we call, say, transverse section of bone. Okay, so inside means this is the transverse section. If we cut the bone from here, Okay, transverse section means if we cut the bone from here, then we will see that this is the outer layer of bone, and inside that this layer, inside this layer, we can find a hollow part, and this hollow part is covered with a matrix. Okay, and this matrix is known as bone marrow. So here it is the outer part of bone, what we can see from outside, and inside that bone, like a pipe like structure. So inside this bone, the matrix is present, that is known as bone marrow, and from that portion blood cells are formed. Okay, so remember this concept. This is very important question you are getting to in your net exam. Next is last connective tissue, lymphoid connective tissue, known as reticular connective tissue, consists of reticulin fibers with various types of leukocytes, monocytes and lymphocytes, and reticular cells. Okay, so it's also known as lymphoid connective tissue, also known as reticular connective tissue, and these are made up of reticulin fibers with various types of leukocytes. So leukocytes are consisting of monocytes and lymphocytes and reticular cells. So these are the types of white blood cell. Okay, generally there are 5 types of white blood cells. So these two are among those 5. Monocytes and lymphocytes are among those 5 white blood cells. So they are togetherly known as leukocytes. Means white blood cells are known as leukocytes. So next is found in bone marrow, lymph nodes, spleen, thymus, and tonsils, all organs of lymphatic system. So if you know, there is a separate system in our body that is known as lymphatic system. That lymphatic system is consisting some particular organs. So those organs are the site of this lymphatic tissue. So where we can find this lymphatic tissue, we can find in bone marrow, lymph nodes. Lymph nodes can be found almost everywhere in throughout the body, but in some places it is concentrated, like in underarms it is concentrated, in neck area it is concentrated. So we will learn in detail about lymphatic system also, don't worry. So just remember, lymphatic system is a part of our defense mechanism. Okay, so lymphatic system is a part of our defense mechanism. Lymphoid connective tissue is mostly made up of white blood cells, and mostly monocytes and lymphocytes, and found in bone marrow, lymph nodes, spleen, thymus, and tonsils. Now functions are support immune responses, important component of body's defense, protects from infection and foreign bodies. Okay. Now here you can see lymph nodes. Okay, just like our circulatory system, as vessels, means blood vessels you can find everywhere in the body, like that only lymphatic system is also parallel of cardiovascular system. As blood vessels, means arteries, veins, capillaries are present everywhere in the body, like that only it is just parallel of cardiovascular system. But you
Is
can
it our
see
drainage system, ma'am? Is it our drainage kind of system which drains the impurities?
no, it's not like that. It's a different kind of fluid, lymphatic fluid, which is supporting our defense mechanism. Drainage system means, if you are telling that waste mechanism, waste
Yes, ma'am.
management
Yes,
of
ma'am.
body.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, you're absolutely right.
Okay, so waste management is a responsibility of excretory system. Okay, that is a different kind of system. We will learn about that also. Waste management is done by excretory system, and excretory system is also consisting mainly four organs: skin, lungs, kidney, and one more organ is there. Can you please answer me if you know? Yes, your voice is very cracking. Okay, no problem. It's not a matter of same. So another organ is lungs. So these are the parts of excretory system. We are not discussing this right now. We will discuss this system in detail. Don't worry. So lymphatic system is not a drainage system. Lymphatic system is a supportive system of uh, defense mechanism or our immune system. Okay, so we can find lymph nodes in our body in some particular area, concentrated in armpit, shoulder, neck, abdominal region, some in our knees and pelvic region. Okay, now muscular tissue. We are entering into muscular tissue. How many types of tissue we have covered till now?
Ma'am, only one completed. Now connective tissue is continuing. And another two tissues are there. Muscular tissue and nervous tissue is left.
Yes, very good. So you're getting the concept. We have completed two types of tissues till now. Those are, what are those? Yes, please answer me fast.
First one is the epithelial tissue and second is connective tissue. Yes, yes. Two tissues are complete.
Yes, please repeat.
First, we completed epithelial tissue. Then we completed connective tissue. Now we are
Yes,
moving to muscular tissue.
yes, very good. So, in muscular tissue, all muscle cells are elongated. For this region, it is called muscle fibers. Okay. So, in muscular tissue, all muscle cells are bit elongated. That is why they are known as muscular fibers. Means a single cell of muscle tissue is known as muscular fiber. Vary with functions and location in the body. Yes, uh, they may muscle cells may vary according to their function and location. Like cardiac muscle having a very different characteristic and shape size in comparison with facial muscles or any skeletal muscle, right? So according to their function and location in the body, they are they vary. Muscular tissue combined with nerves, blood vessels, and various connective tissue. Okay, so when we are talking about muscular tissue, then we are combining these nerve, blood vessels, and various other connective tissue. Now, functions of muscular tissue are movement.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Excuse me. Ma'am, please explain that first line of muscular cellular tissue. Yes, but
This one?
first line, all muscles. For all
Yes.
muscles, those are that thing I could not get it, ma'am.
Okay. Elongated means they are a bit longer, means uh, if we go for normal cells of body, means how can I say? Generally, we have seen that cells in epithelial tissue, they are like these, or they are cube shaped, they are flattened, they are cylindrical, they are columnar, but muscle cells are a bit elongated. Elongated means they are a bit longer. Okay, so muscle cells are a bit longer. For this reason, a single muscle cell is known as muscle fiber. Okay, means muscle tissues are made up of collection of muscle cells, right? So each muscle cell is a bit elongated. Muscle cells are generally spindle in shape like this, and here we can find a nucleus. Okay, so muscle cells are generally like this spindle shape. We will learn this further. So muscle cells are being a bit elongated, and so that is why they are known as muscle fibers, not muscle cells. Muscle fibers. Okay, is it clear?
Means elongated means it's line shape, we can say.
Is these are a bit longer in shape.
Longer in shape. Okay.
Yeah.
And made up muscle fiber.
Cells are known as muscle fiber. Single muscle cell is known as muscle fiber.
Okay, okay. Got it.
Okay.
Yes,
Single
ma'am.
muscle cell is known as muscle fiber.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So, yes, functions of muscle tissue are movement, maintain posture, produces heat, very important one, produces heat, facial expressions. Yes, at the time of taking selfie in your cell phone, we are giving various kinds of expressions, and that is done by our facial muscles. So pumps blood. Yes, muscle is pumping the blood only. Which muscle? Cardiac muscle. Heart is pumping the blood, right? So heart is made up of cardiac muscle. Control breathing and digestion. Yes, breathing and digestion is also controlled by our muscle tissues. We will learn this in detail when we will read respiratory system. Means if you know diaphragm, right? You people know diaphragm.
Yes, ma'am. That rib cage, along with rib cage,
Yes, below the rib cage.
below the rib cage.
Diaphragm is a muscular dome-shaped structure. Diaphragm is a muscular dome-shaped structure below the rib cage. So this diaphragm muscle is having a very important role in respiration. That is why muscular tissue is also contributing in breathing, and obviously the whole digestive tract is made up of smooth muscle tissue. That is why also helping in digestion. So now, oh
Ma'am,
sorry,
am I audible? I have a
yes,
question. Yeah.
yes,
Ma'am, it
please,
says it produces heat. It is producing heat in the muscles
yes,
when we do. Okay, okay.
yes. Muscles are producing heat because the sorry, because the muscle cells are having the chemical reactions inside it. When heat is produced when something is breaking, any reaction is taking place, and that reaction is producing heat. And when any reaction produces heat, when any complex compound breaks down. If you know this simple basic concept of chemistry, that when a complex compound is breaking down, then it produces heat.
So
So
when we are
this
doing warm up,
function,
so when we are
yes,
doing warm up, uh, our body gets
hmm,
heated, no? Our muscles get heated. So it is responsible for that.
your voice is a bit cracking. Can you repeat the last line?
And do warm up, muscles get heated. No?
Hmm.
Water heat the body.
Your voice is
It's
cracking too much. I could get the answer. I'm sorry, I could get your question till that when we do warm up, our body get heated, and please ask the next part.
so is it responsible for that also?
Yes, obviously, our muscles are producing heat only. Bone tissues, connective tissues are not producing heat. Muscles are producing heat only because in the muscle cells, breaking down of complex compound taking place, and that is producing heat. Like when we are warming up, for your example, when we are warming up, in that case, which reaction is taking place? Glycolysis, right? Glucose is breaking down to simplest part, that is pyruvate or pyruvic acid, and it is producing heat at that time.
Okay,
When
ma'am.
we are
Okay,
warming up,
ma'am. Clear.
our body glucose, yes, when we are warming up, our body glucose has been um, what we call say utilized. Yes, our body glucose is utilized, uh, that is stored in glycogen form in liver, and that is why body is heating up in our skeletal muscles, in inside the cell. This glycolysis is taking place, that is why body is getting heated. Okay, clear?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Type present in our body. First one is skeletal muscle, second one is smooth muscle, third one is cardiac muscle. So you can see how special our heart is. The heart is having its own kind of muscle that is very different from the whole body. That is known as cardiac muscle. And you can see in this structure, so in this picture, um, different types of muscles has been shown. Skeletal muscle has been shown as here, as biceps, cardiac muscle from heart, and smooth muscles from stomach. So these are the three types of muscle. Now we will discuss in detail about skeletal muscle. So skeletal muscle is known as voluntary or straighted muscle. Okay. So skeletal muscles are the muscles which we can move as our own will. Means we can voluntarily move these muscles. And due to voluntary movement, our body is in movement. And they are almost cylindrical in shape. You can see here in this picture, they are almost cylindrical in shape. Cells are long and striated. Here you can see this striated structure. Here you can see there is a striated structure. If you are getting the picture, see this picture. It is striated, means strips are present in these muscle cells. Cylindrical strips means cylindrical in shapes, and on these cylinders strips are present. If you can see this picture, so because of these strips, these cells, these muscles are known as striated. And yes, sometimes these muscle cells are seen as multinuclear cells. Means some of these muscle cells are having more than one nucleus. They are widely distributed. Yes, skeletal muscle cells, means skeletal muscles are present almost throughout the body, from our face, from our head to our toe, and help in locomotion. Yes, our skeletal muscle is the only voluntary muscle, and that is why we are able to walk around, to run around, and any type of movements, that is locomotion, any type of, yes. And this skeletal muscle are under voluntary control. That is the important thing. Voluntary means as per our wish. We can control this skeletal muscle as per our wish. That is known as voluntary control. And where we can find example for neck, shoulder, limbs. Limbs means our hands and legs, back. So these are the examples where we can find skeletal muscle. Skeletal muscles means those muscles which are attached with skeleton. Okay, almost like here you can see the upper hand bone. What is the name of this bone? If you know, please answer.
Ma'am, biceps.
No, bicep is the muscle's name. I'm asking about the bone. If you know, please answer.
Yeah, ma'am, but I forgot.
No problem. We will learn all these things in detail. We will never forget again. So the bone is known as humerus, and this muscle you can see here is attached with bone. That is why it is known as a skeletal muscle. Means it is not mandatory. Every muscle will attach its two ends with bone. Sometimes they get originated or inserted. Um, yes, almost every muscles are attached with bone. So skeletal muscles are those muscles which are attached with bones, and they are voluntary in nature. Voluntary means we can move those muscles as per our wish. Okay. So now next is smooth muscle, known as involuntary or smooth or non-striated or visceral muscle. Okay. So smooth muscles are involuntary, means we cannot move our smooth muscles as per our wish. So smooth muscles are present in digestive tract, in blood vessels, means in our internal organs. Okay, so we cannot raise our peristalsis as per our wish. Like we have consumed food and we are telling that, see, just now I will raise my peristalsis level. Peristalsis means the movement of food from in gastrointestinal tract. Okay, bolus of food. Got it?
Yes. And I have a question.
Yes. Yes.
So, am I audible properly?
Yes, you can ask.
Okay. So, when we do Noli Kriya, the muscles which
Hmm.
we move in stomach, it comes under skeletal muscle
No, no, no.
or smooth muscle.
It is a smooth muscle. All the visceral organs are made up of smooth muscle. Visceral means abdominal almost. Okay. So all the visceral
Then it is
organs are
under
made up of.
voluntary.
Yes,
We
please
are
repeat.
moving it voluntarily, no, ma'am. We are moving it
Yes,
voluntarily, no.
we are moving the external muscles voluntarily. Above those visceral muscles, skeletal muscles are present. Those are known as rectus abdominis. Means if we touch our belly, then we cannot touch directly the intestine or stomach. Above those stomach and intestines, a layer of skeletal muscle is also present. That is known as rectus abdominis, and those rectus abdominis are clearly visible in those boys who are doing gym for regular and developing abs. Okay, so abs word has came from abdominis only, and they are rectangle in shape. That is why rectus abdominis. So we are moving voluntarily those skeletal muscle, rectus abdominis. But you are right to some extent, because when we are moving rectus abdominis, all these visceral organ are also getting massaged very well. So that is the beauty of yoga. In any other part of anything in the world, you cannot see that voluntary involuntary muscles could be uh, managed in such a beautiful manner. How beautiful yoga is, you can see from here. The involuntary muscles are massaged or moved as per our wish through skeletal muscle. So here comes the beauty of yoga. Got your answer?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So yes. Smooth muscles are involuntary and they are smooth. They are non-striated. Strips are not present in smooth muscles. So they are smooth. They are very smooth. That is why peristalsis is possible. And smooth muscles are mainly found in visceral area. That is why we also sometimes call them as visceral muscle. But blood vessels are also made up of smooth muscles, and blood vessels can be found everywhere. Then a long spindle sept structure. This is known as a spindle sept structure. You can see in this picture, two muscle fibers are present, and these muscle fibers are spindle in shape. Spindle shape means narrower in sides and thicker in middle. Narrower in sides and wider in middle. That is known as spindle shape. Located in walls of hollow visceral organs except the heart. Okay, because heart is having its own special kind of muscle. And why the heart need that special kind of muscle? Give me the answer as per your common sense.
It need to pump the blood and
Yes.
It is something which needs to be working throughout.
Yes, very good. The heart is working from birth to death continuously. Never ever it takes rest. If it is taking rest for a while, then you can understand what is going to happen. That is why, for continuous pumping, for continuous work, from birth till death, it requires a specialized kind of muscle fiber that is known as cardiac muscle, and it requires a larger amount of energy for doing so. That is why cardiac muscles are having means more number of mitochondria. If you remember, mitochondria is known as powerhouse or energy house of cell. So that is why mitochondria in cardiac cells are more in comparison to another muscles. And these smooth muscles are mononuclear cells, means smooth muscles having one nucleus in one cell under involuntary control. Yes, smooth muscles are involuntary. We cannot control our smooth muscles. Muscles in wall of stomach is an example of smooth muscles. But here comes the beauty of yoga again. As per modern medical science, we cannot move these involuntary muscles as per our wish. Means we cannot make these involuntary muscles voluntary. But when we do pranayam, we are we are controlling our mind, right? When we are concentrating in breathe, when we are regulating our breath consciously, voluntarily. See, breathe is the only process, not only breathe and blinking of eyes are the two processes which are voluntary and involuntary at the same time. Means we without our involvement, breathing is going on throughout day and blinking also. But when we wish to control, we can control breathing and blinking too. So, for controlling mind, breathing is the only process you have. If you have went through Hatha Yoga Pradipika, breathing is the only and easy process for controlling our mind. So when we are voluntarily controlling breathing, in that case, parasympathetic activation occurs. If you know the sympathetic and parasympathetic mechanism, then parasympathetic mechanism is rest and digest. I think it's going above your mind. I should stop now, but let me clear the concept. So when we are doing pranayam or when we are voluntarily controlling breath, then parasympathetic activation occurs. Means uh, rest and digest condition is activating in our body. In that case, if our heart beat were faster, we can voluntarily make it slow by doing pranayam. If our digestive system was not in active form, through pranayam, when we are activating parasympathetic nervous system, then digestion process get activated. So thus we can control our smooth muscles, cardiac muscles too, through yoga, through pranayam. So here comes the beauty of yoga. If you got it, then okay. If you are not getting it, then also okay, because it's not part of your anatomy and physiology. You will
Got it,
learn
ma'am.
all these things.
We got it, ma'am.
Yes, thank you for letting me know or confirming me. So it's 10, 11, 8, 11. I think I should bind up the class, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So sit straight, close your eyes, deeply inhale and completely exhale. Inhale deep and long and exhale completely. Exhale all your tiredness, exhale all your toxins from body, exhale all your lethargy. Inhale the morning freshness, inhale the energy, inhale the positivity. Fix what you have learned today in your brain that you are never going to forget all these concepts. Once again, deep inhale and exhalation. Adapt Namaskar Mudra in front of your chest. Inhale and start the prayer. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah. Sarve santu niramaya. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Ma kaschit dukha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Now rub your palms. Put those palms on your facial muscles. Feel the warmth. Feel the energy. And open your eyes with a smile. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much,
Thank you,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Thank